Tonight, we're talking about something every single one of us struggles with. Not motivation, not excitement, but consistency. Consistency is the fire. That's what we're talking about tonight. How to build the fire. Tap the like button if you're ready to grow. And if you're new, subscribe and join this community that is rising with intention. We begin tonight's episode with the wise words of Aristotle, who said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Welcome back to another episode of Relaunch and Restart with me, Jeffrey Musa. Tonight, we're talking about something every single one of us struggles with. Not motivation, not excitement, but consistency. Because motivation is easy. Motivation is emotional. Motivation is loud. But consistency is quiet. Consistency is disciplined. Consistency is identity. There's a story about a young man who wanted to run a marathon. He trained intensely for 1 week, waking up early, running long distances, pushing himself hard. But by the second week, the excitement faded. The early mornings felt heavy. The runs felt longer. And slowly, he stopped. One day, he met an older runner who had completed over 40 marathons. The young man asked, "How do you stay motivated for so many years?" The older runner smiled and said, "I don't. I stay consistent." He continued, "Motivation is a spark. Consistency is the fire." That's what we're talking about tonight. How to build the fire. Tap the like button if you're ready to grow. And if you're new, subscribe and join this community that is rising with intention. Motivation is emotional. It's driven by excitement, novelty, and energy. But emotions fluctuate. Energy fluctuates. Life fluctuates. That's why relying on motivation sets you up for inconsistency. Here's the truth. Motivation is a starter, not a sustainer. Motivation is a feeling, not a strategy. Motivation is temporary, not trustworthy. If you only act when you feel motivated, you'll only act occasionally. Consistency requires something deeper: identity, systems, and discipline. If this is already speaking to you, tap the thumbs up. It helps this message reach someone who needs it tonight. Here's the truth about consistency. Consistency is not about perfection. Consistency is not about intensity. Neither is it about doing everything every day. Consistency is about showing up, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's not exciting, even when the progress feels slow. Consistency is identity. You become consistent when you start telling yourself, I am someone who follows through. I am someone who keeps promises to myself. I am someone who shows up. Consistency is not a personality trait. It's a practiced identity. In the comments, write one area of your life where you want to be more consistent. If motivation can't carry you, your systems must. Here are 5 systems that make consistency easier. To begin with, habit stacking. Attach a new habit to an existing one. For example, after brushing your teeth, meditate for 2 minutes. Secondly is environment design. Make the good habits easy. Make the bad habits hard. Thirdly, the 2-minute rule. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. That builds momentum. Fourth, the never zero principle. On low energy days, do the smallest possible version of the habit. Never zero, never nothing. And lastly, accountability. Tell someone your goals. Share your progress. Let someone check in on you. Systems succeed where motivation fails. If you're ready to build systems that support your future, subscribe. This community is growing with intention. Low energy days are normal. They're part of being human. Here's how to stay consistent even when you're tired. Firstly, lower the bar. Don't drop it. If you can't do 30 minutes, do 5. If you can't journal a page, write 1 sentence. Secondly, focus on identity, not intensity. Say to yourself, I'm the kind of person who shows up. Thirdly, avoid all or nothing thinking. Missing one day doesn't break you, quitting does. Fourthly, reset without shame. Shame kills consistency. Compassion restores it. Consistency is not about being perfect, it's about returning. If you know someone who struggles with consistency, share this video with them. You might be the reason they keep going. Before we continue, I want to acknowledge something important. This community isn't just growing in numbers, it's growing in depth. Every week, you show up with honesty, reflection, and a willingness to do the inner work. That kind of courage is rare, and it's the reason this space feels intentional, safe, and deeply human. Thank you for bringing your mind, your heart, and your story here. The real secret to consistency is this. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Your systems are your safety net. Your habits are your foundation. Your identity is your anchor. When you build systems that support who you want to become, consistency becomes natural. Before we close, I want to share something truly special. We have an upcoming experience called Canvas of Courage, a space where creativity meets healing, where art becomes a mirror, and where expression becomes a pathway to emotional freedom. Canvas of Courage is designed for anyone who feels a pull toward deeper healing, for those brave enough to look within, for those who want to understand their emotional wounds, their patterns, their unprocessed trauma, and begin transforming it through guided creative expression. This experience is not about being an artist. It's about using art as a tool to access parts of yourself that words alone cannot reach. If you're in Kenya, keep an eye on all my socials for updates. And once the website is fully live, you'll find all the details on the events page. Canvas of Courage is going to be powerful, intimate, and deeply transformative. And if you feel that tug in your spirit, I'd love for you to be a part of it. Consistency is not what you do occasionally. It's who you become daily. You don't need more motivation. You need systems. You need identity. You need alignment. And when you build those, you become unstoppable. If this episode inspired you, tap the like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs this message. See you in the next episode. Have yourself a good evening.